again, I'm seeing clearly that our major differentiator is user protection, where you can use our exchange. You don't have to worry about rug pulls. You don't have to worry about your funds being stolen. You can have some peace of mind. Yeah, so if that's important for you, then, come join us, come help us build our network.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin, here with Tommy WorldPower, founder of cryptocurrency Energi. Tommy, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. And today, I have one goal with this interview: to do a deep dive on Energi, the ecosystem, the cryptocurrency, as well as your Uniswap Killer, which more and more people are kind of being onboarded onto, EnergiSwap. Before we get to all that, for the audience who may not know you, would you just give sort of your background and then what made you get into launching your own crypto?
Sure. I've been in the crypto space for quite a while. I've been watching it since Bitcoin was single digits, and I didn't get in at the beginning because it seemed too good to be true. But once it clicked for me in 2012, going into 2013, I understood how powerful it was, and I never took my eyes off it. I studied every day. I actually missed the huge run up that happened in Bitcoin from $10 to $1,000 in 2013 because I was not, I was looking for the perfect entry, which never happened. So, but after that, I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm never taking my eyes off this, and I never did. I studied it every day and really wanted to tune into the technology and really understand the power behind it. And just so you guys know, this technology, as many of you know, is more powerful than almost any technology today. That's how I think of things, the really high level. And ultimately, cryptocurrency leads to a competition for governance. And that is what Energi is largely about, which I'll talk to you about how we're doing that and how we're innovating in that space. But that's kind of how I got into it. And I just saw this missing gap that I didn't think other people could see. And so I was like, I have to create Energi to fulfill these things. And I'll talk to you and tell you about several things we're doing that no one else is doing and no one else sees, that I think are really important for cryptocurrency in the coming years.
So let's jump right into that. Let's pretend, for somebody who's never heard of Energi before, it's a smart contract platform like Ethereum. It has a DEX like Uniswap, but would you just give us the broad pitch on what it is?
Yeah, and I've been thinking a lot about what is the most important thing to the user. And one thing I want to say about Energi that really sets us apart is our focus on security. And probably half of you guys have been in some way or another scammed in cryptocurrency, right? Or you for sure know someone who has, or seen it on Twitter or whatever. And when you think about that, you guys, and think about that in the real world, when crime goes on in the real world, there's repercussion, right? People can't just get away with breaking in your house or stealing money from your bank account, right? Right. So I think some people have this attachment to decentralization, and they don't really understand fully what decentralization means. Decentralization, you guys, means a network that is impossible to take down, or that doesn't have like one node or a couple dozen nodes that could be easily subjugated. That's what decentralization means. We have that in Energi, by the way. We have kind of a multi-layer system, and I'll tell you guys about that in regard to how we're doing scaling differently. But yeah, our network's really decentralized, but that doesn't mean that users should be completely out of luck if something happens. We have solved that problem at Energi. We are the only cryptocurrency in the space that has solved that problem that I'm aware of. And we solved it in a really great way. We have introduced governance into Energi. So yeah, there's a couple high level things. One is security, like user protection, organization protection. We have the safest blockchain in existence. That's one thing that sets us apart. Another thing is the way we approach scaling. And I was actually just thinking about this earlier today. I've been in the crypto space a long time, and NXT and Ardor, NXT became Ardor, and it used to be the most advanced crypto before Ethereum. They are the ones who innovated sharding. And it was kind of really, I was thinking about earlier today, I was like, I really think that everyone kind of bandwagoned on sharding. But is sharding the best way to scale? I don't know. And I'll tell you guys about how I look at scaling there too. God bless everyone who is doing sharding. I hope it works, but I think there's a better way. And then the other thing that we're doing differently that I want to share is how we're approaching our exchange differently. And I saw the power of decentralized exchanges a long time ago. Energy was building an exchange. So we have EnergiSwap. So I just want you guys to know as well, I highly value exchanges. It's not like an afterthought. There's a lot of decentralized exchanges out there today, but we're really serious about exchange being our main application. So we've innovated within our exchange the first decentralized referral program, which to me was surprising that no one did it before me. But these are the ways that we are innovating because I'm thinking outside the box. I'm not just bandwagoning. I'm like, how can you really innovate in the space? So a lot of people don't know about Energi. A lot of you guys probably haven't heard about us or know that much, about us. And to be fair, I haven't done a ton of interviews the past few years. I probably should have done more, but I was really busy just making Energi happen. And now it's like kind of happened in many ways. So it's like time to share with you guys. So here I am.
And talk to me about more security. You say it's the best, but like, give me specifics.
Right. So in the modern world, there's something that I reinvented, but I didn't originally invent. It's called the 3-day good banking rule or something like that. And the idea of the rule is the same thing you guys see all the time in banking, that it takes 3 days to confirm a transaction. Why is that? Well, the actual reason why that is deep down is to prevent fraud. Okay, so I kind of accidentally recreated this, but I'm not the first one to create it in the world. But by having a system like this, see, when criminals steal from you in cryptocurrency, they move the funds from your to usually an exchange as fast as humanly possible, and they dump it. So, and most people notice that they had funds stolen from them, usually pretty quick. So what I did is twofold. One, we made user alerts, which you can set up on Ethereum as well. But it's something that is really important. Set up alerts for your wallet. So if money moves in your wallet, out of your wallet to a different account, that you are aware of it. And the second part of that is if there's crime that happens there, we built a decentralized governance model. So here's another thing that we made that very few other cryptocurrencies have. A decentralized governance model means if there's a consensus in a significant percentage of nodes that agree that there's a malicious address, then that address can be frozen. And I just want to elaborate for you guys. You guys, when you go out in the real world, most of you guys aren't carrying, full armor and AK-47s when you're going to the grocery store, right? No, because you know that if something happens, you can call the police. There's someone else out there to be your form of security. But some people think that in crypto, everyone has to be their own army and vigilante cybersecurity mastermind to protect themselves. I personally don't think that's the way of the future. I think day-to-day users need some sort of police type of protection to basically prevent, these common criminals from taking advantage of them. I want to be frank with you guys. This is me coming from my heart, because I can't, it really came from me seeing my users in Energi being robbed, and it's one thing to happen to you personally, but after you have it happen a number of times to people that it's in your responsibility to oversee, in my opinion, it is a responsibility of a project to say, hey, we're not going to just tolerate that. And I want to emphasize again, you guys, it doesn't mean we have, anyone has complete control of the network. No, there has to be a significant vote to currently freeze those funds. And eventually, I think it will look like electing almost like a police department type thing to handle these things, right? This is not like, for some people in crypto, this is like so crazy, but to me, it's just like really imagining the future of crypto. And the future of crypto, there's not going to be crime like this, that anyone can just get away from it. And like literally, I know so many people who've had stuff stolen from them in the craziest way. They're not dumb people, and a lot of times they were trying to increase their security. That's when they got taken advantage of. So some people think that, oh, it just happens to dumb people. No, it happens to regular people all the time. And it's the most heartbreaking thing. And there really needs to be something better in place. So again, we have the best solution for that. So the way it works on our blockchain, first of all, we hardly have crime. And I want to elaborate on this point, you guys. Most of the crypto communities out there don't have hundreds and thousands of scammers. They have a couple dozen that prey on you guys over and over and over again because they know they can get away with it. We had some like that in our community, and guess what we did? We shut them down, you know, and we don't tolerate that. So the crime on Energy is super low. So if you care about security and you want to have peace of mind when you use your crypto, and you want to have your mom and dad use crypto and don't want to worry about them, you know, check out Energy. You're going to be able to sleep better at night. So if something is stolen from your account, set up an alert, an email alert. If you let us know within 3.5 days, we can freeze the address and investigate it. And just by having that simple system, you know, crime is down well over 90%. I'm proud to say Energy has the safest blockchain in the whole space that I know of. And this should be valuable to companies too, I imagine. Like Coinbase and OpenSea are just getting wrecked by scams. So I think they'll start to appreciate this sooner or later as well.
And the other two components of the Energy blockchain, before we get to the DEX, is EVM compatibility and scalability. Could you touch on those two key points?
Sure. So what I'll say on EVM compatibility, you guys, to keep it as quick as possible, network effects. You know, Andreas Antonopoulos talked about this a long time ago, and he didn't think Ethereum would supplant Bitcoin because of network effects. You guys, when you're building a blockchain, there are so many pieces that go into it. Ryan's my president, and he explains it super well. Building technology is like being a blacksmith. And in order to make some tool, first you have to make one tool in order to make that tool, and then use that tool to make another tool, and then use that tool to make another tool. And soon you have like an inventory of tools to really be able to build what you want. Ethereum is building in all directions. And I have a tremendous love for Ethereum. There's no way I would go to market and be like, I'm going to go rebuild all these tools. It's a very, very, very difficult task. So by being EVM compatible, and as well, you'll notice Energy is in the same hexadecimal format. That means it's 0x, da 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 da. We don't want to change anything like that. And I personally don't really understand why other blockchains do that, because there's a huge advantage to being really adaptable. So that's the EVM compatibility aspect, which is, you know, following the Ethereum network effect. Okay, scalability. All right, guys. So this is a whole another subject, which I'll try to keep concise as much as possible. We were talking about this earlier, right? Sharding. Everyone's doing sharding. Well, the way I approach problems is, again, as you guys see, through security, the decentralized referral program. No one else has done that. I do the same thing with scaling. So in databases, you know, again, I've learned so much from Ryan and our tech team, who are so smart. But in databases, they don't really like to do sharding much, because there's a lot of problems that can happen when you do sharding. So the way to do scaling that I kind of intuitively felt that, you know, kind of got confirmation from through our tech team is have a blockchain, you know. So actually we break up our blockchain into numerous layers. And I've always said we have 2 layers, but as we're, you know, to be more accurate, there's a computation layer. That would be our masternode network. Then there's the hot storage layer and the cold storage layer. This is how your computer works. So the type of system we're building is something that really resembles more of a world computer or whatever. And there's not very many cryptocurrencies that have broken this up into these layers. So again, computation, hot storage, cold storage. So the computation layer is responsible for handling a tremendous amount of transactions per second. That's our masternode layer. We have over 1,000 nodes on that. So if you're wondering how many transactions we have per second, we can increase our requirements on our masternodes as much as we need to. So we can do the thousands and thousands of transactions per second. Then what happens is you take that data. They don't hold the data. They currently do, but we're shifting that where that's where the hot storage layer, that will be like the main blockchain that most people are think of, you know, as a normal blockchain. That's going to hold all the data till you have about 5 or 10 terabytes worth or something like that. And then once it gets big enough, you essentially imagine a blockchain of blockchains. Imagine that becomes a block and is then moved on. And that old blockchain is just maintained by, you know, 50 to 100 nodes or so. because that's not there's not a lot of ability to tamper with that once that's been done. In this way, you're creating a blockchain that everything is on one blockchain. It's not on a bunch of different shards, which again, there can be a lot of problems that occur with that. And, you know, everyone who's doing that, I wish you the best with it. But again, we think of things a bit differently. And again, our system, I think, most resembles how a world's computer would actually look. Yeah, so these are some high levels, you guys. I kind of like gave you guys a ton of information, but yeah, hopefully it all makes sense.
I mean, I think I picked up 95, if not 100% of it, but just to kind of clear it up, or just for context, obviously Ethereum is doing its own thing, but these other scaling solutions, dApp platforms, like, do you think any of the others are doing it right? Like a Cardano, like a Polkadot, Solana, et cetera, or are they just like too different?
So Solana's actually broken up their computation layer and storage layer as well. And props to them for doing that. But again, I think that a way that would most resemble a world computer is actually 3 layers, which I haven't heard anyone else talk about that. Again, you know, the computation layer, storage layer, hot storage layer, and cold storage layer. A lot of people right now are concerned about transactions per second, but really, I think the storage of the blockchain is important to me. I don't want to outsource storing the blockchain. It's something we're doing differently than Solana. You know, they're using a third party to do that. I want to have everything built in-house. Yeah, and again, I just want to be honest. My intuition kind of feels like there's, again, a lot of bandwagon. God bless everyone. I have a tremendous love for Ethereum and everyone. I saw sharding early on. Again, I was really aware of NXT. I was actually like original ICO investor in NXT, and those, you put in like 0.08 Bitcoin or something, and it was then it's probably worth like $1 million now.
And what is NXT? Wait, for the, like, I wasn't in crypto then. Please give me the.
Yeah. NXT was like the first kind of move toward Ethereum. So you had Bitcoin, and then NXT was, they didn't have smart contracts, but they had some added capabilities on their blockchain. Yeah, it's like hard to even remember, but they were a move in the same direction as Ethereum, but just way less capable. Around the time too, there were also like colored coins and Bitcoin and all that. So they were innovating. They were the most innovative. Yeah, cryptocurrency around 2013. BitShares was around there doing some innovative stuff as well. So BitShares and NXT were kind of leading the way. It's so funny. You just gave me a flashback of like looking at CoinMarketCap back then, and there were like 20 coins, and CoinMarketCap is hilarious.
Now
yeah,
there's like 20,000.
Yeah. Now they can't even add all the coins. Yeah.
So let's pivot, and I want to dig deep into the DEX. In my opinion, that's where I'm seeing, from my outside point of view, like so many people like get excited for EnergiSwap. Could you just, besides it's more scalable, but would you just give the pitch for EnergiSwap if somebody's never heard of it?
Yeah, sure. So once again, I think a major cornerstone for you guys, if you care about security, then come to our blockchain and use our applications like EnergiSwap. We have a DEX, and I'm serious about having a major competing exchange. We actually built EnergyX, which was a centralized exchange. I spent almost 2 years building that, and pretty much it was like done. But by the time it was done, we'd already launched EnergiSwap. So we're like, okay, we're just going to shelve this. So we're serious about having an exchange. I see the power of the automated market making exchange. So we're utilizing that technology. We're also going to have derivatives as well. I know some people are building those. And again, that's the beautiful thing about being EVM compatible, is if someone builds something really good, just, you know, we'll adopt it. So really the main point here, you guys, I would say, is if you guys want to use a DEX, have a lot of options of coins. We've got like 180 coins. We're working on our liquidity, but our rewards are pretty good. So if you guys bridge coins over, you know, you could take advantage of some pretty good yields through our farming and just directly through our exchange. So, you know, join our exchange. We're incentivizing building liquidity there. We've got like 13 million of liquidity today. Not crazy, but again, we're gonna keep pushing this. I'll find whatever whatever it takes to get that over. But I will say, again, I'm seeing clearly that our major differentiator is user protection, where you can use our exchange. You don't have to worry about rug pulls. You don't have to worry about your funds being stolen. You can have some peace of mind. So if that's important for you, then, come join us, come help us build our network. A lot of, as you guys know, people buy products a lot of times because of the spirit behind it. And that's the spirit of Energi. We're really about being the blockchain for protecting the people, kind of these advanced, I guess, concepts that many other blockchains don't really see or care or may never do. Some completely disagree. They think you should never have security, and good luck out there. If you got scammed, you're an idiot and shouldn't have done that. And good luck. But we have a different approach. So if you appreciate that, come with us.
And guys, I want to hear from you. If you're watching right now, feel free to comment down below. I'm going to make sure Tommy reads at least all the top comments. But Tommy, you said more scalable, more scalability, more security. And the other big thing with EnergiSwap is the referral program, which has never been done before on chain, to my knowledge. Would you just go for that?
Yeah. So, I just kind of realized that it can be done, you just have to do it. So, you can have a decentralized referral program on the blockchain. That's what we did. We built it with 3 layers. So, not only so we actually had it as 10% discount and a 10% commission on people's trades, but we recently decided to double that. So it's a 20% discount on your trade. So if you're using EnergiSwap, definitely sign up with the referral code of any of your friends or anyone, like Austin, as soon as possible.
I'll link it down below.
Off.
I'll put a link down below.
Perfect. Yes, do. It's 0.3%, just like Uniswap. So you're getting 20% off that. And then anyone you refer, you get 20% commission on them. If they refer any of their friends, you get 10% on that. If they refer any of their friends, you get 5% off that. So in net, it's a pretty significant chunk, that we're giving away. But I'm doing that because I want to accelerate, building our network. It's huge. It's again, no other DEX has this, and we're going to keep innovating like this. You guys, you see, there's a number of ways we're doing things differently, and that's how we're going to do it. And I'm always coming from the frame of, how do I serve Energi holders and how do I protect them? And any apps that are high in demand, we're there. We've seen NFTs take off. So we're building an NFT platform currently called Energi NFTs. It'll be very similar to OpenSea. For those of you who aren't familiar with our project or the quality of our products, I'm really proud of our tech team. Our products are really polished. They don't look like crap. So give it a try. Like go look at our bridge. It's like aesthetic, enjoyable. And I like to have a critical eye about that stuff. I think I want to say too, Austin. We talked like years ago. Or you covered us years ago, and Energi was like ranked top 50 back in 2019, and we didn't have nearly what we have now. And I think we kind of got. I think a lot of people are momentum chasers right now in the space. They're just looking for things that are pumping. But I'm pretty like I don't know the right word here. I'll say softly spoken or something. Like I'm not going out and bragging about stuff, especially stuff I haven't built yet. So I've been kind of quiet for a lot of the bull run. But now that a lot of our products are out, and I'm like, we're technologically probably in the top 10 of all cryptos. I'm like, we're a little bit overlooked. So I want to help, build that awareness and stuff. Like, you guys should take a close look at Energi, like our ecosystem, everything we have. There really are, for sure, top 20 in terms of what we have. But somehow our rank right now is like 500. It's super, we're super overlooked, but I don't think that will be that way forever.
And by the way, that's why I wanted to have you on today, just so we can dive deep into some of these concepts. And it sounds to me like the referral program, the NFT platform, EnergiSwap in general, like those would be the biggest ways to onboard new people. Like that's what people want. Why would somebody choose your NFT platform, for example, over OpenSea? Is it the security?
Yeah. So, and I'm open to OpenSea coming over. OpenSea, if you guys are watching this, yeah, we're open to building those partnerships. But in case anyone is slow to build those partnerships, we will also be on our end providing those anyway. So our platform will look a lot like OpenSea and feel a lot like it, maybe with some of our own customizations. But the security, yes, Austin, you nailed it. Security, again, is the name of the game. And scams and NFTs are worse than I've ever seen, ever. Like, it's ridiculous. There are so many ways for you to get scammed in NFTs, you guys. Please be careful. They send you messages on Discord that are trying to get you to sign a message in your MetaMask or sign up for a fake release. Or if you're buying something on OpenSea, they might change the price on you last minute, cause you to pay 10 times more. Or there's fake collections, and now they're doing fake collections with check marks so they look really realistic. Or you're getting messages in the channel of people advertising cheap items, but they're actually fake collections. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, it's like you're walking into a minefield, and you're almost like the likelihood of falling to some scam is pretty there. So yeah, if you want an experience where you can be like, huh, wow, look, there's no scams. That's what we're building Energy, and because I reinvented or whatever the system to solve it, and it works. And so it's great. So if there's a scammer who does something to someone, we'll rally our community and seek to blacklist that address, and that's it. The address is blacklisted. Can't do anything anymore. Can't send funds until the investigation is complete. And if it's a bad actor, he's not going to be doing that anymore on that address. And if he tries another address, then blacklist that too. And yeah, that's how you do it.
I like it. And I want to pivot more to big picture cryptocurrency questions, but I do have a few final questions for Energy. This next one, give me the bull case. Let's say, what does success look like for Energy in 5 years' time?
Okay, yeah, you reminded me. You guys, yeah, thank you. So a couple things, you guys. I built Energy differently, as I've kind of been saying. But one thing I did differently as well is I didn't do an ICO. Even at building Energy for 4.5 years, could have done an ICO, could have raised $20 million. There was ICOs happening all the time then in 2017. Why didn't I? Because I didn't want Energy to be a security. So I had that foresight 4.5 years ago. There's very few top projects right now that haven't done an ICO. Yeah, again, I built Energy, you guys. I want you to know this is not like a side thing for me or like ooh, I want to found a project. No, this is like life purpose. Like I made Energy. I was actually a YouTuber back in the day. My YouTube channel is still there. If you guys want to look it up, Tommy WorldPower. I haven't done videos for a long time because Energy's taken a lot of energy. No pun intended. But it's hard to do everything. So I've been kind of playing with the idea of doing more. But anyway, Energy is life purpose for me. I created Energy, was conceived on the 4th of July, 2017, and I made it to liberate humanity. And everything I've tried to do is with that foundation, the right foundations, doing things the right way. So that's why I made Energy. So, and we started out in like the back of the pack because our technology was built off Dash, which I had to fork Dash rather than Ethereum because I needed a treasury system, and Dash had the best treasury system. And then we eventually forked Ethereum and rebuilt a treasury system, rebuilt governance system, everything. So Energy, again, is like our technology is pretty damn good. A lot of you guys don't know, but check it out. Our tech is good. Not to say it's perfect. We're always improving. Our tech team is like better than ever. I'm like really proud of our tech team. Now we have like a damn good tech team. Excuse my language. Yeah. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into Energy.
How many people on your team?
Man, that's another funny thing. We've had a huge team for a while. Like there's some projects out there. There's a lot of projects bigger, like 100 times bigger in market cap that have smaller teams than us. It's kind of funny. We have, all in all, I'd say around 100 people, and number of developers these days, probably, I don't know, 20, maybe 25. We have 5 recruiters right now. And by the way, guys, if I had more funds, like there's these projects out there sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars, I have no idea what to do. And I'm just like, man, like, come on, you guys, recognize Energi. So if we have those sorts of resources, I'm going to multiply my recruiting team. And just, if I had $100 million extra right now, I would have already built a decentralized Twitter. Like I just need manpower, and resources. So you guys really want to see the evolution of crypto, come join us. We're hungry and we're doing things differently, and we'll get there. I'll see to that. So,
Tommy,
yeah.
I feel personally, like, obviously I was well in tune with Energi. We cover it often, many times on the channel, but like, I truly feel I have a better understanding after this podcast. Is there anything we didn't mention that you wanted to mention about Energi?
Let me think. So NFTs, we know NFTs are hot. We're building that platform. NFTs will also have our same sort of referral program. So keep your eye out for that. And also we're doing our own NFT, which is going to be cool. Just like everything we do is going to be polished. So Energi Dragons. So if you like NFTs, come join our community. And we're launching that this next week, the whitelist program for it. So these are going to be kind of our official mascots of Energi, which is pretty cool. So if you like that kind of new stuff, that's what we're doing as well. Let me just check my notes.
Do it.
That's it. We covered things pretty well here.
Sure.
Yeah, just again, I would really just emphasize that security thing, you guys. It's like, so I don't know how you guys deal with it, or like, if you've been affected by that sort of stuff, but really it's not. I have a very strong belief that is not the way of the future. That it's just going to be vigilante, and you better have ex-military on speed dial. Like, it's not the future. You need to have a blockchain that actually cares, first and foremost, cares about you, enough to make sure that if something happens to you, you have recourse. I care about all our users. So if you want that sort of care, then yeah.
All right, I love it. And links will be down below in the video description. And our final 7, 8, 10 minutes, I want to go big picture. You have been in the cryptocurrency space for years. I remember on your YouTube channel, you were telling people about Ethereum, I think when it was just a few dollars. So I would just love your perspective. We're recording this over the weekend. It'll be released in a few days, but a Black Friday Bitcoin crash just happened. Are you still bullish on the market, bearish? What's your state of crypto?
Yeah, great question. So that was crazy what happened on Friday, as they're coining it Black Friday. So that's like kind of really big macro in consideration of the whole world. So I'll start with crypto and just say crypto. I made videos on Ethereum when it was $1. And I bought it the ICO and it's buying more than $1. So I saw Ethereum going to the $5,000 or $10,000 range a few years ago, and basically there. Ethereum is eventually going to go to 100 grand and beyond. So that's
wow.
Within 10 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, within 10 years, maybe within 7. So yeah, you guys, I want to really emphasize for you guys, the name of the game here is holding things you believe in for the long term. That's the name of the game. Find assets that, not financial advice, just my take, assets that you see set themselves apart. Like I saw how Ethereum was setting itself apart, and that's why I believed in Ethereum. I saw the big jump it had, right, in technology and all that. And we're trying to do the same thing with Energi, the next level stuff. By the way, I've been talking to some of the people close to Ethereum. That was their issue, by the way, guys, is governance. And they know it, some of their leaders know it, that they can't come in and really effectively implement a governance system because it's already rolling, and it's really hard to change after you've been like that for a while. Like, the community gets like really angry when you try to implement stuff like that. So you got to just have the right foundations, which we have. So for that path. So on the other hand, on the macro scale, you guys, when interest rates go down to zero, this is the big picture. You need a reason to reset the system. COVID has provided that reason with a ton of printing, and we're hitting that point where it reaches inflation, where now inflation, you're all feeling inflation, right? You're all seeing prices go up. Long story short, kind of the runways run out. So in a big macro scale, I'd be just careful. Markets are overvalued, and that has affected crypto too. Crypto is also overvalued. It could still go higher, don't get me wrong, but it is overvalued right now. And so just be careful, have some cash in the sideline. Again, not financial advice, my take. Just be prepared for a rainy day. Don't be 100% in, or have hedges, right? I like to have hedges, you know. Yeah, but long-term, crypto is where it's at, 100%. You know, this is amazing. We should all be so grateful for having crypto, because we didn't have this 15 years ago, you know? What would we all be doing right now? Something different.
That's true. That's true. And a dip in the short term based on Fed rate cuts, maybe COVID variant scares, et cetera. I think that's very reasonable. But your thesis is in 10 years, one Ethereum will hit $100,000 per ETH, which is life-changing if you just own one Ethereum. Could you go into like your thought process on how it gets there?
I've just had my team kind of build some scales, logarithmic growth scales, and they're pretty accurate, you know, and they adjust to all historic data. So I actually did some videos on that on my YouTube channel. I think you can still find them. And back then I was like showing them, and people are like, sometimes I check the comments, people are like, wow, it's true. So yeah, just it's the mathematics of it, but also of course look at the growth, right? Users are growing at approximately doubling every year. That's been the case for many years. So when users are doubling every year, prices on average, the market cap actually follows that as well. Now that doesn't happen like every year, like it's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. It's not like exactly like that. It's gonna go through bubbles, go through crashes, but it'll average out to that. So that's kind of my take. Just high level, users are approximately doubling 70 to 100% a year, and so are valuations. Yeah.
And even with, like, let's just say in a multi-chain future, Cardano, Solana, Energi, and Ethereum, you know, all make it in the end. Like those other platforms, that's not a factor for one ETH hitting 100K, in your opinion?
Do you mean like in terms of that there'll be competition?
Yeah, exactly.
So that will circle back to the conversation around EVM compatibility and network effects, which you know, if you go back to 2018, and I don't hold anything against any of these projects, you know, I'm a truth seeker. Go back to 2018, and 2018 EOS was the, you know, major Ethereum killer, and you were there for that, you know.
Sure.
And there were lots of people who thought EOS is gonna take over Ethereum, and there are numbers out there that EOS had purposely more transactions than Ethereum. You know, they were the dominant blockchain. Well, that turned out all not to really be the case. So what I would say is, if there are serious competitors out there, they would be really implored to have that EVM compatibility, because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of developers not officially working for Ethereum, but building their own tools, projects, everything on Ethereum. If you're spending billions of dollars a year, even if you're spending billions of dollars a year, that is a really hard thing to surpass. Network effects, again, props to Andreas Antonopoulos. He didn't think Ethereum would be able to surpass Bitcoin for that reason. I thought that Ethereum was enough of a jump that it would. All these new coins, I don't think there's enough of a jump there to surpass the technological network effects. And that's the reason why I'm not competing against Ethereum, you know, tech. I'm not gonna make a new virtual machine or something. It's gonna be EVM based. Everything in Energi is as similar to Ethereum as I can have it be, because I want to take advantage of all that innovation as much as possible. And then I'll innovate in different directions. You know, again, user protection, a unique, different form of scalability that may work better. just kind of these, and then of course, the high demand applications present those in the best way possible.
And final question, because you've been in the space for so long, if you had a buddy, a new cryptocurrency investor coming into the space for the first time, what's a piece of advice you would give him?
The highest level piece of advice, you guys, I would give is stay in the game and dollar cost averaging. People are like, oh, do I buy it now? Oh, I didn't buy it because it was expensive. And then they don't buy it when it's cheap. Okay, it's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's a great book, recommend it for all you guys. The premise of the book is the way to become the richest man in Babylon is take 10% of your income and invest it and don't touch it, like leave it alone. And that's where people make a mistake because they double their money and they're like, oh, I'm rich. I'm a genius. I doubled my money. It's like, no, man, you just chop down your tree. Like imagine like you're planting a tree. You got to let your tree grow big enough and then you can take 4% of it per year. So imagine if your assets grow to $1 million, 4% of that is $40,000 a year. You can now live off $40,000 a year for the rest of your life. But until you get to that point, do not chop down your tree. The only thing you should sell up till then is if you want to take some cash out to have your portfolio at 10, 20% cash or whatever to buy it if there's another dip or if there's a major crash or something like that, or the market. Right now, the market's overvalued, right? So be smart to have a cash position to buy back in when it's low. But beyond that, let your tree grow. It's not like, oh, I made 100K, so now I can sell it and, buy my dream house and that's it. No, you're going to hate yourself in like 5 years. So, that's the biggest advice I give.
Very sage advice. The Richest Man in Babylon. That was the book.
Yeah. Highly recommended. Fun read.
I'll check that out. Tommy WorldPower, thank you so much for joining me today. Final thoughts for the Altcoin Daily community.
Just remember to have fun, enjoy life. We're again, gratitude. Okay, I'll say gratitude, right? Just be grateful. You guys, like this is the reason I'm successful in crypto, because I was grateful. When I saw it go 100x in 2013 Bitcoin, I was grateful for it. And I was like, wow, this can be life-changing. And it is life-changing. If you recognize this is something that will change your life, it will change your life. But if you don't appreciate it and you like sideline it, then it never will. So yeah.
I love it. Links are down below for Tommy and Energi. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Austin. See ya.